What's up, guys, and welcome to another episode of the Bubba Speed Career Mode in MotoGP 20. And after a pretty difficult performance in Moto3, a very difficult weekend where we crashed in the warm-up lap for some reason, and we ended up finishing, I think it was 9th position. And despite it being a track that I actually do like a lot, you know, it was a tough weekend. But it's time for us to go to Australia, and this is a track that I really feel like I can win. I've been struggling on this track in previous games, but I don't know, I just feel confident in this one. Qualifying went pretty well. We were only 4/10 away from, not even 4/10, it was more like, you know, almost like barely over 3 behind Suzuki. Mazia is in 16th. So the real question here is Mazia going to be able to get a comeback and make it competitive? Probably, because we've seen this many a time from Mazia this season, especially as of late, where he'll qualify, you know, like back in the 5th or 6th row, and all of a sudden, in the 1st or 2nd turn, he's right there in 5th, and then towards the end of the race, he's right there battling for 1st. So we aren't exactly, I wouldn't be surprised at all to end up having to battle with Mazia for 1st, as we almost crash out with Lopez. That would have been really frustrating. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, but I don't know. I've been trying to be a bit cleaner, but the AI has also been a lot more aggressive. That's something I've really noticed with the latest updates. I would like to know from you guys in the comments if you've been noticing the same thing. But it just seems like the AI is also a lot more aggressive, and I don't know. I just feel like earlier on in the game's life cycle, like as we crash out Foggia, that's a shame. But I don't know. I don't necessarily think that was 100% my fault. I was just kind of doing my thing. He probably could have moved over too. But regardless, like I feel like earlier in the game's life cycle, the AI was a lot more aware of where you were on the track, and I don't know. I just felt like that was a bit more realistic. Like they were also a lot more careful about where they would put themselves. Like a lot of times, I'll be just going through a corner normally, and all of a sudden they'll come flying and they'll bump into the side of me and they'll crash out or they'll crash me out. It's just kind of weird. Like even in qualifying and stuff like that, it's just kind of a weird thing. I'm not gonna say like it's broken or something. I'm not gonna complain too much. I'm just saying, with updates, I definitely feel like they've changed the AI a bit, and they've made it a lot more aggressive and a lot less aware of where I am on the track, where other actual AI racers are on the track as well. Because I've seen some crashes happen between them, and that's kind of a cool thing. I do like that, but it is kind of weird to just out of the blue see them bump into each other like that. Not really stuff that happens in real life too often unless they're having a battle. This is just like somebody goes flying into somebody else for no reason. So it's kind of weird, but you know, it is what it is. You have to take the AI as it is, and just really enjoy the game, because the game is still great. It has some. I will say I've been noticing some more problems, which when I eventually do a review, I will bring up all these things. But I do appreciate the game a lot more than I've appreciated any other previous MotoGP game over the past decade. Definitely more, actually more than a decade, to be honest with you, probably since like MotoGP 4. So, Phillip Island. Alright, Phillip Island, like I said in the intro, it's a track that I haven't necessarily been amazing at over the last few games, at least the ones I've played, but it's one that I just feel extremely confident. Why? Well, because it's a fast track, but it's also one where, you know, it is a very technical track, and I said a lot, like, for me there's really 3 kinds of tracks when it comes to playing them in the video games. Obviously in real life I have nothing to say about it because I don't race, so I don't really have much to say, like I said. But I will say, like in the video game, the way I see it, there's tracks like Sachsenring, which are very slow, methodical, and technical. Then there's tracks like this or Mugello, which are very fast but also very technical. And then there's point and shoot tracks like Spielberg. Alright, those are bullshit tracks, I would say. The last category, bullshit tracks. This is more like a Mugello, where yes, it's extremely fast, but it's also just it has so many nuances to it, and if you do it right, you can have just a phenomenal time. And like this first turn right here, I think I've gotten it pretty much to perfection, to where I know exactly where I need to let off to get through here perfectly. And actually running a little bit wide, but I do like to do that a lot, because yes, say of course Antonelli. See what I mean? Like, I probably could have avoided that, but I don't know. I was just doing my thing, and he went sliding under me. But whatever, I don't know. That's like, he crashed again, so poor guy is pretty much dead at this point. I don't know. I just feel like, you know, like going through there, if I run a little bit wide, I can get on the gas harder and actually pull through it with a bit more speed. And there he is, Mazia, of course. Mazia's in second position. Now we have to beat him. Like, that's the most important thing. Even if we don't win this race, even if we finish second, as long as we finish above Mazia, it'll have been a successful weekend. That's for damn sure. And like right through here, this is another part of the track that I really like. You're going through this right, of course, starting to go up the hill. This left hand has really been the bane of my existence for this track for a long time, but I feel like I finally got it. All right, let off and then hit the gas coming down the hill. As soon as you get on the, as soon as you start to drop down the hill, you hit the brakes. Then you go through it, and then from here you pretty much don't have to brake. You can just kind of let off if you need to. Like right there, I had to let off just a little bit, and then you just kind of go through here full throttle. And that's the important thing, is that of course in MotoGP you can't do that, but in Moto3 a lot of it really is just like how big your fucking balls are. And of course that's not really saying much considering I'm playing a video game, but you know what I mean, like how much faith you have that you're gonna get through the corner without hitting the brakes. That's where you really do win or lose a lot of these races, especially in a track like this. It really is about how much faith you have in your corner speed and how much faith you have in your biking to get through the corner. Like okay, this time I went really wide, but the good news is by doing that, I'm still gonna be able to get a decent drive. Now I would not have liked to go that wide, especially the second time I went wide right there. That's basically blew the turn twice in the span of one attempt. But you know what I mean. Like, so we got a decent drive out of it, and then right here it's really important to hit the brakes as soon as you get to the first modal sign. That's really important. You have to hit the brakes there. If not, you're gonna go flying, and you're gonna end up making a huge mistake and going way too wide. Now, one thing that I have been trying to get back to is, you know, the fact that, you know, looking like you're going slower isn't necessarily meaning that you are slower. A lot of times, you know, if it looks like it's kind of slow and it looks like it's just kind of smooth and all that, then it means you're going to end up being faster. If you're trying to be aggressive and rough on the bike and you're sliding everywhere and you're getting hard on the gas and hard on the brakes, at the end of the day, you are going to end up losing time. So that's something I've been trying to work on, trying to be, like I said, a little bit more intelligent with my braking points, a little bit more intelligent with where I get back on the throttle. Made a huge mistake right there. I'm going to get past my Mazda. There he is. Can't afford to make mistakes like that because that will cost us. We dive straight back underneath him just to remind him who the fuck is in charge here, because he's still our bitch. Make no mistake about that. Fenati getting past him. Hopefully Fenati can finish above him. That would be huge. That would be huge for us, you know, because as of right now, Mazda, like, yeah, worst case scenario for him, he loses 5 points, which will still keep him at 18. Which is still pretty close. Like, that's still, with what? I think after this race, there's Sepang. And then there might only be Valencia after that, actually. There might be only 2 races after this one. So, interesting. Very interesting. So, essentially, guys, like, if we win this race, and then we have a good performance in Sepang, that will essentially have meant we have won the title. So, we really do need this W. If we can get this win, that's going to put us in a great position for the rest of the season, which of course is priceless considering the fact that I haven't exactly been the most clutch over recent Grand Prix. So we have to try to give ourselves the best chance possible, which is very obvious, but it's also something that's in the back of my mind. Like, once again, guys, coming up this part of the track, it's really important to get it correctly. Like right here, all right. I like to cut it in, take it nice and slow, let off as you go through the corner, then hit the gas. Pull the throttle, and then hit the brakes right there as soon as you start going down the hill. Pull through the corner. You have a bit of a runoff, so you can exploit that a little bit, and then get on the gas and just do not stop. Let off if you need to, just to avoid hitting the dirt, but you can pretty much go through there no problem whatsoever. Then right here, full throttle, and it's going to set you up perfectly for the final straight, and it's essential on this track to nail that last turn, because if you get it wrong, because it's such a long straight, and because, you know, people are going to have so much speed coming through that last corner, it really is vital to go out of it well. We have the fastest lap of the track, of the race, which is really good to see. Going full throttle through the first corner. As soon as we start going through here, let off, hit the brakes a little bit, just to kind of set ourselves up nicely. We're going through this corner exactly the way I like to do it. That's exactly my way of going through the corner. That's perfectly done for me, and I really feel like when I do that, that's going to give me a great chance of pulling a big lead, because I just feel so confident once that happens. hit the brakes a little bit too late, which is why we go a little bit wide, having the turn while braking, which is never ideal. And we probably lost a little bit of time there, but we still have the lead. We don't have a penalty, so we can be comfortable. We can be confident, and we can go out there and secure this W. Going through here nice and slow. We don't have to put, you know, a hard pace up there. We just have to do our thing. We have maintained our 1 second gap, which is excellent, because that really is giving us a nice cushion as we come up the hill. Take it nice and easy, make no mistakes. You do have to worry about this turn right here, because if you get on the brakes too hard and you go through it a little bit too aggressive, you can crash. Ran it a little bit wide, not excellent, but we still were able to build up a 1.5 second gap, so we're pretty much guaranteeing ourselves this win. Coming out of the next to last corner, going into the final corner, all we have to do is not make a mistake and crash, and we have this W right here. And there you go. And there you go. That's a W right there, guys. A little bit too early, said it, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, guys. I knew the win was coming. That's a weird sticker to have on there. I did not put that sticker on there, but alright. Bubba Speed has won once again. Alonso Lopez. Romano. Oh, shit. Mazia finished 5th. Huge, huge, huge moment right here for the championship. Mazia finished 5th. So 27 points. Whew, that's huge. That is massive for us. Because I'm not gonna lie to you guys, Sepang is one of my most Tamut tracks. It's one of the tracks that I fear the most because, first of all, people die there constantly now. Second of all, like, I am not a fan of the track. Like, I don't like watching it. I don't like playing on it. It's just not a track that I like at all. So going there, I'm not feeling confident. That might be another 0 point race. So I'm not gonna lie to you guys. That's the reality. That's the the level of performance I usually get there. So. Well, maybe I'm exaggerating a little bit, but you guys get the picture. I'm not exactly good there, so that is something that's kind of worrying me a little bit. But the bottom line is Bubba Speed has won another race. I don't know how many he's won. I'll have to check at the end of the season just to see, because I don't think it really shows you anywhere. As there we see us crashing out Foggia, and then look at the series of just bikes flying in the background. That's pretty funny to see. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you please the like button, subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell, and let me know if you have any tips and tricks in the comment section, because that's always helpful, and I really appreciate it. And as always, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.